So are you some kind of doctor or something?
Yes, I am.
What, are you general practitioner or are you a surgeon? What do you got going on?
I trained in family medicine, but I'm a hospitalist at Tahlequah City now. So.
Okay. Was there a point in your life where you had to say to yourself, I'm going to go to medical school or I'm going to go to music school? You know what I mean? Was there that point where you really debated what you wanted to do?
All right. No.
No?
Well, I was not a musician whenever I was in medical school. So this is actually a later in life thing. I always pursued music, played guitar and piano and sang and things, but it was more on the side, for a hobby. Wasn't anything that I did publicly. So later in life, I started a cover band and kind of got into it that way with some friends, and we had a band called Assbone. And,
was it a church band?
Well, that's based on Ezekiel there. He took the jaw of an ass and he slew 50 Philistines.
Yes, that's what it says in the Bible and stuff.
Yes,
that's verbatim.
That's right. So
that's verbatim.
But later in life, then after that all dissipated, then I moved to Tahlequah, and I'd written some songs, got into songwriting, and I went through several phases of having me and one other guy that played bass in it. We called ourselves several different things. We couldn't decide on a name. Eventually, I just said, own up to what you are, and you're DocFell. That's what people call you. So we're DocFell and Company, and I kind of liked it because it sounded a little bit old school, Western to me, like Doc Holliday or something like that. And then Company is really because I never knew who the hell was playing with me. I mean,
but you work with Kyle quite a bit.
I work with Kyle quite a bit.
And who is this guy over here?
Yes, Kyle Brown right here, and he's a good-looking fella. He plays guitar. He's been around for quite a long time, but when I first started, I had a bass player and me, and that was it, and we didn't know who we'd play with. And my concept was whoever showed up, at a gig would be part of that company. So it wouldn't necessarily have to be a defined, 5-person band or 4-person band, because we've had gigs where there's 3 different people that have never played together. We've had gigs where there's 5 people. I always say if things work out perfectly one day, I'll have 20 people show up and I'll want to play at one gig. So far that hasn't happened, but the perfect storm is brewing. So. And
Kyle, you're no stranger to playing in several different bands, but the one that you've been hanging around with most the last few years is 59 South.
Yes, sir. We've been together. Actually, the band started with me and my dad and my uncle. We started in 2003. We were together till 2009. And this past summer, I got the band together again, and we got a different set of guys with us. And so, kind of a different mix than we had before. We've gone from traditional country to more of a southern rock, bluesy country. Big mix.
And Doc, how long have you been really working with Kyle on this stuff?
It's been for about a year now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got together actually at a hospital gig. They had a employee dinner last summer outside, and that's when I first kind of ran into Kyle and talked him into playing guitar with me, and it's just kind of blossomed since then. We've been gigging quite a bit. I play about two gigs a month, and he hits about every one of those, and really just brings a great guitar element to the shows, which I needed that anyway, so it worked out well.
And you're currently in the studio, even though you've got some stuff available online for people to check out. Yeah. How far along are you with what you got going on?
I think we're over 80-90%. We're closing in on it pretty quick, and we expect maybe this summer get through mixing, get it off to mastering, and maybe this fall looking at a release.
And you're cutting it here in Tahlequah?
Yeah, at Monotone Studios with Aaron Pack.
Aaron Pack, great. Mm-hmm. Doc, who did you have in your cassette collection growing up?
It was an 8-track.
It was an 8-track. Oh, excuse me,
right.
pardon.
And I know I don't look that old, but it was really odd. My grandpa, Arco, he listened to polka music. So when I was at his house, polka music was every time I was over there, it was just a constant. And then my dad, Tony, he played opera. So not that I listened to those things, but every time I was in his car, of course, he's playing opera, Pavarotti or whatever. So actually, growing up as a kid, I sang a lot of opera, like in the shower or whatever. I thought that was kind of cool. But at home, I really had a lot of classic country stuff. Johnny Horton album was one of my favorite ones. George Jones, old Johnny Cash stuff. I mean, that's stuff that I had, because I had those records, I had those 8-tracks. Of course, then Eagles kind of got popular about then. Then growing into high school, it all changed, went to 80s rock or whatever, Guns N' Roses and AC/DC and all that kind of stuff. But
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
no, nothing wrong with that, right?
that.
Yeah, the Stones, we're in the
Oh,
shirt
yeah,
here, but
yeah.
the classic rock stuff, so. But the roots, I'd say, of when growing up was all that classic country stuff. But then there's that intermix, just crazy stuff of having opera and having polka music, which I guess is great. So
Yeah, it's a tough question. Actually, I don't know. Growing up, I listened to a lot of older country, everything from like Alabama back to like Merle Haggard and Ray Price, and a lot of older country. And then and that got me into writing. I listened to a lot of Chris Christopherson, and I really was influenced by his style of writing. And then as I got older, I started playing the guitar. I think I was 13 when I first picked up the guitar, and a lot of my influences then were the Eagles and a lot of the 70s stuff. And for me, it was the challenge of it all, learning all the diminished chords and everything the Eagles play. And then I got some of the older blues, and just kind of going from there.
Okay. What's your favorite breakfast cereal?
what are you, Seinfeld?
Yes. Except not Jewish.
All right.
No soup for you.
Well, let me answer that with two responses. First is to go back to the very first question. I never thought of quitting medicine to do music because, I did it later in life, and I'm unsigned. I don't have a label. I don't get paid hardly anything to do this. So really, it would be just crazy. But we do hope that the CD is successful. I think it's going to be a really good piece of work. And I've had some really great people work on it. Kyle's worked on it. Aaron Fletcher's worked on it. I had Danny Davis on drums. Of course, Aaron's doing the sound. We had Kelly, what's her last name?
Kelly Farmer.
Kelly Farmer with fiddle. Rod Robertson sang some vocals. Had a couple other people sing vocals on there. And still some more work to do on it. I think that's the main people on it. Aaron Fletcher on the bass. So anyway, we're really proud of it. But as far as cereal, all day long, it is a Raisin Nut Bran. And I don't know why. It's just old man cereal. Keeps you regular. It's so good.
You did mention 8 tracks, so you dated yourself, dude. Kyle?
Let's see. I like Lucky Charms probably, and I don't know if I call it breakfast cereal. It's kind of like I sleep until like noon or 2 or 3 on Saturdays, and so like that's what I would like wake up and eat. Is that considered breakfast? But yeah, I think that'd be it.
And I'm always after Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
You knew I was going to say it.
Yes.
Pulled out of Boston around 2 a.m. She just packed enough to get back on her feet again. She was headed just as far